This is another episode of Medium Talk with me, your host, Cole Nunley. And in this episode, I have a very special guest, director of horror films and Random Joe, which makes him perfect for this episode because we were going to be talking about political exhaustion. Now, what exactly is that? Well, that is basically something I've been feeling lately, and I think a lot of people have been feeling lately, where we are just tired. We're exhausted from this last election and all the political shit that's gone on, and we are to the point where no matter what shows up in the news, we just honestly don't care anymore. I don't have any willpower to take any sort of political action, at least for the time being. And first, I just want to ask you, Keller Nunley, what are your thoughts? Are you feeling this same political exhaustion?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it's just everywhere you look. You go online, you see it. You go onto any social media, you go and anybody that you know is talking about it. Like even just the other day, I went for a haircut, and the lady cutting my hair was trying to like talk politics with me. And it's just everyone's got their own opinion, and it's more or less all kind of the same gist with just different finite details, but. It's like just hearing the same song on repeat over and over. It's like Christmas music. It's like everywhere you go, there's Christmas music, and you get to a point where you're just like, all right, I'm ready for Christmas to be over because I'm tired of hearing like the same thing over and over and over again. And like you said, it totally just kills your passion or your care for it because, anytime I see something happen, like specifically in the news, I'm less disappointed about it happening. I'm more disappointed because now I have to hear
right
that
exactly.
Forever.
I just brace myself for what's to come on social media. So I've become sort of out of touch, and it feels like what happens on the news isn't really happening because I have no emotional connection. It just doesn't feel like it matters. It doesn't feel like it's real. That's what's happening to me.
Yeah, it's totally kind of a boy who cries wolf situation where every day there's some new headline that's a terrible, horrible. The world's going to be over. That's a good way of putting it. Yeah. And it just gets to a point where you're like, okay, I'm personally yet to be affected by this. And it doesn't mean it doesn't matter, but after a while, it's headlines just start to mean less and less to you.
Right.
And you get exhausted by it.
Yeah, so does this, well, that's kind of a loaded question. How about we ask, what can we do? What should we do? I mean, I think what I've been doing lately is just kind of looking at it and just looking to see if there's anything that stands out. I'm trying to find something that, like you said, honestly, when I look at the news, I'm trying to find something different. I'm just trying to find something that doesn't have the word Trump in it. I've been looking at Google News the past couple days, and it seems like every single headline, including, I just go to sports section, entertainment section, technology section, science, health, whatever, and every single headline seems to have the word Trump in it or something related. And that's why I think I'm going to name this episode, Let's Talk About Not Trump. Because I'm just sick of it, and I understand all this stuff is important, but I think a lot of us that are being bothered by it, we need to just take a break, because in the long run, if we don't take a break and we try to pretend like it all matters to us so much, we're going to get to the point where we're going to be spiteful, and we're going to be frustrated, and we're just going to have a hatred for politics, and I think it could damage us in the long run. So I don't know how many people are suffering from this political exhaustion, but I'd say quite a bit. And I think it could take a toll on our country if people don't just take a step back from it and relax. I think people need an opportunity to relax.
Yeah, I'd contend that it's already taking a toll on this country. I mean, you said that we're going to eventually become spiteful, and I think even though maybe some people don't want to admit it or just don't really realize it, but I see a lot of just hatred for politics and for other people that is coming out of it. And to go back to what you're saying about, what can we do? And I think the biggest thing is with headlines, I think a big focus, at least for me, is to really try and pick your battles. I mean, you cannot be outraged about every single issue that's going on in the world, because it's just simply too many, and you're not going to get anywhere. And the other thing is, I try to look at stuff that if there are enough people fighting for it. So in like, my opinion doesn't really matter about certain issues, because there's enough people with my opinion who are doing better things than I am to help that issue. And so I like to look for stuff that's maybe not getting so much attention, and maybe fight for that as a cause, or maybe not fight for anything, but just avoiding that thing of where we all have to feel like we need to say something about everything, or feel very upset about everything, which is hard to do, because it's like when I go on Twitter, or I don't know, random like BuzzFeed type articles, there'll be something where it's like, this was Kevin Spacey's open letter to Donald Trump, and I'm like, do I care what Kevin Spacey, what does his opinion matter more than anyone else's? And it's just like, not everybody needs to be so vocal about it, because that's what we're tired of.
I've seen a lot of that spite already come into play. I mean, just with myself and others, where we were considered leftists or progressivists, and we've been sort of forced to be defensive of the other side or something, just because of how annoyed we are and how much we hear about it. And so we've become sort of spiteful towards politics and any sort of politics. And I think that's the conclusion we should make in this episode, is, since we're kind of running low and I like to make conclusions, is let's all take a step back. If you're feeling exhausted from all this politics, take a step back. It's okay to stop caring for a while, a couple months, because this presidency, your whole life, it's longer than a couple months, and things are going to take a lot longer than a couple months to change. So why don't we just all take a step back and then come back at it later with a fresh mind, and we'll probably be a lot more productive, and our activism will be a lot more efficient and productive if we are coming back at it with a fresh mind. Do you have any last words, Keller?
Yeah, I would just say pretty much what you're saying. The one thing that I did within this last month is I pretty much got rid of Facebook. I mean, I didn't delete my account, but I just stepped back from it, deleted the app off my phone, and limited how much I go to it on my computer. And just by getting rid of that one source of constant information, it's like a huge burden. You feel more focused on your own life, and you feel more focused on like good things, and it's just simply less bothered. So I just absolutely recommend just taking one little aspect of this social media or information giant and disconnecting it from your life, and it just helps a lot.
All right, well, that's about time. I want to thank you for coming on the show, Keller. You are a spook master. You are coming out with a new platform soon called Spook Noodle. I will definitely be promoting that when it hits. And I want to thank again, and all the people that are watching this. If any of you that are watching this want to come on the show and you're passionate about a certain topic, please hit me up. And thanks for watching. This is Medium Talk with your host, Cole Nunley. Keep creating.